question and answer. Okay, so now, question.
What is your hope for the future of mankind?
I feel there is some reason to be hopeful. Judging events in 20th century, at the early part of 20th century, I think people too much think about their own national interest. And for that, the concept using force, war, is part of that thinking. And then later part of 20th century, firstly, I really admire European Union start. The main nation making effort to create European Union, Germany, French, German Adenauer, French President de Gaulle, during wartime, arch enemy, but after Second World War, new reality. Now it is better live together. So they create union. I think early part of 20th century, such thing impossible. One of my great friend, and also to some extent my tutor, the von Weizsäcker, German, great scientist. He once told me, I think the 1990s, you see, he once told me when he was young, then every French eye, Germany is their enemy. Similarly, German eye, French is their enemy. Now that kind of attitude completely changed. That was 1990s. So like that. So now, European Union, you see, developed. Then also, you see, after Second World War, a few years remained Cold War. Each bloc, you see, they prepare, ready to use nuclear weapon. On occasion, I visit East Germany, because of the Murray, Germany, West Germany, and Berlin. See, they're quite near Berlin Wall. So when I sleep, if something happened, then we become first casualty. That kind of situation. Now that situation completely gone. The main factor disappear Berlin Wall not by force, but by popular sort of desire or movement. So these are, I feel, the indication the human being, through a lot of suffering, we become more mature. So now I think the desire for peace is much increased. In early part of 20th century, I think nobody talked peace or coexistence. Now later part of 20th century, now peace, world peace, now something common and different philosophy, different sort of system, the concept of coexistence. Now today, I think people talking importance of environment, not only well-being of we human being themselves, but also now taking care about environment through education, through knowledge. So we human beings, I feel, become more mature. Then, see, I think peace is the basis of happiness or development. War, destruction, suffering. So now I think desire of peace. And another, I think, example, when Iraq crisis about to happen, the demonstrations for peace against the war from Australia up to United States, large number of people against violence, war. These, I feel, the clear sign we human beings, our thinking becoming more reasonable, more also wiser like that. That's my view. So now, beginning of 21st century, if we make attempt now, not through prayer, but through action, I usually describe this century, 21st century, now should be century of dialogue. So whenever we find some different interest, potentially causing violence, we must try to solve these through dialogue, not by use. So that now I think the main hope is, now some scientists, they say basic human nature is more compassionate. And people more sort of, also the constant and more experience of constant anger, hatred, actually eating our immune system. And naturally, I think we, including myself, everybody have the experience of anger, isn't it? I think nobody, have this sort of view or feeling, today I really feel very happy because this morning I lost my temper very strongly. I think nobody say that, isn't it? You see, meeting with someone who loves and show you smile, and met that, I think at least 1 day or 2 days you feel happy. So according to our own experience, anger, hatred is really ultimate source of unhappiness. Then, as I mentioned earlier, according to scientists, basic human nature is more compassionate. If basic human nature is anger, then we can't do much. Then, according to sort of theistic religion, then I think time comes, we should pray to God. Now, the world now should disappear. Since basic human nature is more compassionate, therefore, I think we should pray to God, this world remain much more century, or 1,000 khazar, millennium, or several millennium, and remain peaceful, happy. Okay. So, basic human nature is more positive. Therefore, if you make some effort, no problem. I feel existing modern education is very much oriented about material value. Not much pay attention about our inner value, such as compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, these things. Although all major religious tradition talking these things, but that people usually feel that is something religious matter. Now, in education, these days I also use mentioning, I feel in our education, hygiene of physical, usually we teach, isn't it? Taking care about our body, and including exercise, or sometimes yoga practice. These mainly, you see, taking care about our physical comfort, physical health. Now, similarly, we need hygiene of emotion is very important. Not as a religious sort of matter, but healthy mind, peaceful mind. The healthy body, full of anger, no use. I think better those people who have a lot of anger, I think better to go heaven or hell sooner the better. So you see, in our education, should include some education how to build healthy emotion, healthy mind. So education, I think, very important. So the future of the world, humanity, I feel very much, because optimism, right? Optimism, like that, optimistic. So I make some effort as my own share, one of the 7 billion human beings, as my share. Wherever I go, I always talk these deeper or inner value. So you also are part of humanity. So each of you can make some small contribution. From one person, you can share these deeper value, another 10%. Each of 10, then share 100 people. 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000, 100,000. That's the way change. Okay. Next question.
Thank you.
His Holiness, salutations and devotion to you, great being. I work for an international institution that is in more than 40 countries over the world, and we work very hard to teach human values, philosophy, and about consciousness, both personal, social, and global. And we work through voluntary efforts
Yes.
And we have a lot of devotion to His Holiness and Tibetan Buddhism. And I would wonder if it's possible for our institution to promote His Holiness through our work in our countries, in our affiliates, and also for our and I would wonder if our national
yes.
I'm okay.
I feel some pain. Okay.
Thank you. If our international president could come here to Dharamsala and seek an interview with His Holiness, if this is possible.
You come from which country?
I come from Sweden, but I work here in Sweden, but I work in India.
So basically, I feel the NGO sometimes more effective in a certain field. So now, regarding inner peace, you already have some kind of the NGO, one organization. Wonderful. I really appreciate. Thank you. So, how to promote, how to educate people from kindergarten level up to university level about training of mind, training of emotion, not part of religion, as a part of religion, but just a part of academic, as I mentioned earlier. You see, we should learn about our mind. In that case, I really feel the Western psychology looks like kindergarten level. Compare ancient Indian psychology, really highly developed. So now, when I discuss with Western psychologists, they mainly refer sensorial level consciousness, not mental level. Sensorial level almost similar with other animal. Some cases, like elephant and some other sort of animal, the sensorial level consciousness is much sharper than human being. But ours, sort of, I think, the unique thing, the greatness is human brain. Now, human brain not develop further, totally relying on sensorial experiences, seeing something nice, including sports or music, and good smell, good taste, and good touch, including sex. These are sensory level experiences. Since the real potential is mental level. Now, 1,000-year-old in this country, India, the practice of shamatha mentioned there, the practice of vipassana, analytical meditation. I consider Buddha himself as product of that tradition, not just pray, but training our mind. Although these come from religious tradition, now time comes, we should take this as an academic subject. Not talking about nirvana, not talking about heaven or next life, just this very life, in day-to-day life, how to create happy mind, no matter what surrounding. Surrounding may be some troubled surrounding, but we have the ability to keep peace of mind. Without that, even you surrounded by best friend at the best facility, on bed, you no sleep, and go like that, and then go like that, without mental peace, then physical comfort will not bring inner peace. So inner peace entirely depends on not sensorial level consciousness or mental level consciousness. So that now I think should include in our curriculum, education field. So you already also committed to promote these things. Not my suggestion is you should not consider as a part of Buddhism. Take Buddhist literature, these concepts itself. We should consider. I always consider these are academic subjects. So telling people, particularly in the West, I never try to propagate Buddhism. Sometimes when I give talk about Buddhism on the request of the local Buddhist group, sometimes I feel a little uncomfortable. The West, basically, Judeo-Christian tradition. So that means believe God, creator. Buddhism, no creator. Similarly, Jainism and one ancient Sankhya philosophy, no creator. Life, no beginning. So no need creator. Like that. So I really you see, do not want to, to promulgate Buddhist sort of concept or Buddhism. So this secular way, secular, in the West, some people consider secular means disrespect religion. According to Indian understanding, secular means not disrespect religion, but respect all religions and also respect non-believer. That's, I think, very relevant to today's world. Now, today's world, out of 7 billion human beings, 1 billion non-believer. These also human brothers, sisters. So, according to Indian secular way to teach about this inner value, then we can cover entire 7 billion human beings. Okay. So I appreciate the Swedish already is doing something. I very much appreciate. So now you should, Kasura, you should make effort continuously, and whenever you want to come talk with me, I'm ready.
Thank you. We will come. Thank you so much.
Now today, only me taking tea. So when a small group come, then we can enjoy everybody on tea. So, next question.
Thank you.
You from
Good morning, His Holiness. I'm from Mexico.
Mexico?
Yeah.
Oh,
First of all, I want to thank you so much for sharing your precious time with us, taking your time to be with all of us.
Kasa.
I have loved your being since I was a little child, and surely since many lives back. So I only want to kindly ask you to give me a personal advice for my inner development. Thank you so much.
Kasa. As I already mentioned, we should pay more attention about our sort of activities or feeling or emotions in mental level. So for that, I think firstly, maybe sometimes I also do some kind of thoughtlessness. Should not sort of follow our main mind or sixth mind should not follow the sensorial level because of the mind or consciousness. So now for example here, my eye consciousness is seeing these sort of audience face, but my sixth mind not because of pay attention on that. Then similarly, hearing, smelling, taste, touch. We have the ability to remain sixth mind, just kasota, sit there, right? Then gradually, firstly, you will get some kind of emptiness because we too much sort of experience about sort of sensorial experiences. When we withdraw and just mind, maintain on mind, then gradually you will get the feeling of some kind of kasota, illumina kasa, ka.
Maybe you will have some kind of a luminous experience.
Then try to maintain on it. That one way to increase our ability to not following sensorial experience, but mental level. Then think about, so for example, compassion. mental level, not sensorial level. Then all the major religious tradition mainly is training our mind, not sensorial level. So in order to carry that, firstly, we should have some experience. What is mind? Word, not enough. So you should, I may say, meditate on mind. That's one way. Then, in order to change our emotion, we must utilize our brain, smart brain of human being. Analyze. Anger is part of our mind. What use? Anger. Once we develop conviction, anger is not at all good. It's a certain problem. You develop anger, but that anger never helps to solve the problem. Without anger, through realistic way, you can solve. There's possibility to solve your problem. Anger never. When anger develops, and also some other sort of strong emotion, even sort of compassion, too much sort of emotion, you can't see the reality. So your method, deal that thing should be realistic. Unrealistic method fail, bring good result. So method, no matter what your motivation, no matter. No? Enough. Thank you. So, the when try to see the reality, our mind must be neutral. Too much desire, you cannot see reality. Too much anger, you cannot see the reality. In order to see the reality, our mind must be neutral. Then we can look objectively. The things are relative, always mixed. Something you want, or you desire, or because you feel, because of the or your desire, or something you do not like. So the reality, relative. I think one thing, one factor, you feel something good. But there are different aspects. It is, I think, human beings also the ability, without emotion, you can see reality objectively, without your own view, whether good or bad, without your own view, objectively see. Then the one thing, there are many different aspects. So you cannot see the reality from one angle. For example, one nice thing, we always look from the one angle, positive side. The reality, there are also some negative things there. So I think a few moments you feel, oh, that's very good. Then after some time you feel, oh, not that good. So that means, you see, when your desire is developed, you just looking one angle. Then after some time, see another sort of angle, not that good. So our mind in order to see the reality, our mind should be neutral. Objectively look. So, anger and even sort of attachment or even compassion, which is sometimes, you see, become hindrance to see the reality. So in order to carry human brain's ability fully, our mind must be neutral. Objectively look. So for that reason, calm mind, very important. Okay. Then you say analyze. Like external thing, we analyze this is good for our health or something. This is bad for our health, like that. So similarly, among the emotions, such as anger, very bad for our peaceful mind, our calm mind. Think that constantly. Then your conviction about anger is very bad, very harmful. And provided basic human nature is more compassionate. So we have the sort of the possibility to reduce anger. Utilize, as a result of it, fully utilize our intelligence, reasoning. That's the proper way to change our emotion, to transform our emotion. That's actually we call meditation. Through meditation, mainly analytical meditation, not just to say meditate, single-pointed meditation. No, analyze, like that. Main question is. So, whether you believer or non-believer, you should pay more attention about the system of our mind, system of our emotion, as also they consider as a hygiene of emotion. I feel like that. I do that. That's very good, very helpful. According, you see, my sort of mental state, I feel no enemy. Anger is including my own anger, that's the enemy. But people who show me anger, you see, develop sense of pittiness. They truly become slave of these destructive emotion. So you feel a sense of concern. So being themselves like us, human brothers, sisters. So sometimes, religious, prayer, or the negative force, negative people should eliminate or something. I feel uncomfortable. No negative human, no negative sort of sentient being. All are same. Negative thing is emotion. That including my own negative emotion. That's really worthwhile to destroy. Not the person, not the sentient being who become slave of these negative emotion. Okay. Next question.
Thank you so much. Please go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next question.
Hello, my name's Michael. I'm from
You
Brisbane.
from
Michael from Brisbane, Australia.
Australia? Oh.
Yes. So
I think you should show me your ear. No, that's better.
I'm a student and an aspirant practitioner. Now, I know the importance of education, and as well as what you mentioned about remaining objective and not becoming subjective. So being in a student environment where sometimes we're forced to work in groups, and then you got to compete with each other and trying to, try and get a better score. I'm wondering whether it's possible
Competition way, sense of competition. Huh?
Because I wish to engage in the world, I wish to make a difference through education, trying to make a difference. Now, being at the same time wanting to aspire to cultivate myself and maintain the four sublime states, for example, I find it difficult at times to be able to maintain the sublime states where I'm in class or I have to compete with others or being in the office. What advice would you give in terms of whether it's possible to find a balance in maintaining our spiritual integrity whilst engaging in the world, like in an office space or being out there in the world trying to make a difference against other forces?
당구자들 랜선 사마를 sense of competition. Sense of competition. I think sense of competition, there are two kinds. You see, you want to be top level. That's your right. But in order, that's a positive. But you see, in order to you reach top, create some problem, that is wrong. Okay. So the sense of competition, I think generally without competition, no further progress. Competition, good. But competition, sense, in order to show other, you want to be higher, first class, and show them must make effort in order to reach top. You yourself make example, not hindrance, but pushing them. For that, you want reach first. Okay, very good. This desire to achieve Buddhahood, something like that. In order to help other, you become more deeper experience. You want to more experience, more deeper knowledge, wider knowledge, in order to help other, not hindrance, not look down, but you see, out of sense of concern of their well-being, you want to show them, or according to your own experience, if you make because of the effort, you can change our emotion. So these are no problem, very positive, or sense of competition way. I think, although my understanding the very word of English word competition, I don't know. According by the rough idea, I feel like that. There are two types, or desire also is two types. Desire something, a negative thing. You want desire to kill other one, to steal other one. That kind of desire is wrong. Desire other, in order to help other, you want to be top. That kind of desire is positive desire. The last part, Kasakuri. In order to serve human community, now here mainly in the field of peace of mind or happy community, individual oneself, I think, should become example of other. Then you can share with other people. If you remain very angry person, then telling other people, compassion, or other people say, nonsense. Now he himself always show angry face, and meanwhile talking about compassion, full of contradiction. So in order to show other people some deeper value, first you yourself should some experience, then you can tell other people.
So in Buddhism, there is this practice of doing something by yourself and showing metaphysics.
Okay. Thank you. Your ear, wonderful ear. So should not hide.
Здравствуйте, Ваше Сиятельство.
Some my friend, you see their hair, you see put here. And some occasion, I want to see ear. And when their hair, I try to see. Then their ear, something wrong. That's something different case. But your case, your ear, wonderful ear, so should not hide. Yes?
Здравствуйте, Ваше Сиятельство. Я не говорю по-английски, и поэтому я хочу попросить my friend Владимир, translator. Можно посмотреть? Владимир, подойдите, пожалуйста, сюда.
You from which country?
I know English. Мой friend. Подойдите сюда.
Хорошо. Конечно. Oh, yes.
Да, хорошо. Давай, держи. Я тебе буду говорить, ты будешь говорить. Хорошо.
Yes.
Много лет назад его Сиятельство посетил нашу Туву.
Your Holiness, many years ago, you visited Tuva Republic.
Tuba, yes.
Услышав эту новость, я был очень рад. Я даже заявил, что своей матери заявил, что его Сиятельство приехал домой. Говори,
And he was so happy that he said to his mother that His Holiness came to visit him.
Хорошо.
Я очень ждал вас, что кто-то придет и постучится в мою дверь, один из ваших посланников.
He sit in his house and waited that somebody come to said that you came to Tuva.
Хорошо.
Но через несколько дней вы покинули нашу мою родину, и мне было очень... И вот это состояние, разочарование было сильное. Но с тех пор уже прошло много лет. То есть...
В чем вопрос?
Нет, ты...
If you have some question.
Я просто...
Not a story. Question.
No, then His Holiness came out from Tuva and he was very depressed.
И тогда моя мать сказала, придет время, ты станешь взрослым, поедешь и увидишь его Отечество.
В чем вопрос?
Да, говори дальше. Говори.
Ты мне скажи сразу, я сразу
Я
говорю.
просто хочу потом объяснить, что я приехал с намерением, настоящим намерением получить официальное приглашение для моих детей. Я уже смирился с своей судьбой, я для этого приехал.
Официальное приглашение для чего?
На учебу.
He wants to ask to have permission for his kids to study here in Dharamsala. Study Buddhism.
He want to
wants to
study.
receive official permission. Yes.
That's okay.
Он говорит, да?
Here we have some school. Anybody can join. As a human being, no problem.
У
Okay.
меня два сына. Можно сказать? Можно я скажу? У меня сейчас два сына, им сейчас по 6 и 7 лет. Я хотел бы просто на будущее подготовиться, и когда им исполнится 9 или 10 лет, их отправить обязательно учиться. Я уже смирился со своей участью, но я не жалею. Хорошо, с этим теперь...
He has 2 kids, and when they become a little bit older, like 9 or 10 years old, he wants to send his kids here to Dharamsala to study Buddhism.
That's okay. Please keep contact with us. And then my representative at Moscow, there, you can contact him. Or in Mongolia, the Cao Vesel. So you can communicate with us. Okay, no problem. Next question. Yes?
Greetings from Cyprus.
Huh?
Greetings from the small island of Cyprus in the Mediterranean.
Cyprus. Oh,
I'm so grateful to be here with you today, and thank you for spreading peace in the world. As you know, I come from an island divided by conflict for many years and generations. I belong to the peace movement there. I do my best. Through you, what advice can I give to the rest of the island people to stop conflict and hatred? Thank you.
as I already mentioned, now we are in the beginning of the 21st century. The reality much changed, but our thinking, particularly leaders, they are thinking still old concept. Whenever some problem facing, their only sort of thinking is how to destroy them. We believe destroy so-called your enemy is your victory. That's old thinking. So now, because of that, the beginning of the 21st century, the killing in Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, and then some country in Africa, still old thinking. Destroy your enemy is your victory. That's old thinking. And now the reality much changed. So, old thinking with new reality never sort of solve problem. Only create more problem. I often telling the Iraq crisis, when September 11th, immense sort of disaster in New York and Washington. The next day, I wrote a letter to President Bush while I expressed my condolence or sadness with my prayer. I suggested this tragedy eventually so they should deal these problems through non-violent way. Then eventually Iraq crisis happened. So Iraq crisis, I think, create a lot of negative feeling among the millions of Arab people, Muslim people. So one cause, you see, they're dealing this problem with violence, use force, create more trouble. At that time, I expressed, one Bin Laden. If our way to deal these more negative, more violent way, then today, one Bin Laden, after some time, 10 Bin Laden, then 100 Bin Laden may come. So we must deal this problem with more patience, more determination, more compassionate way, dialogue. So that's my basic view. And then each individual's countries or problem, the how to deal, I don't know. I think separate problem, you should think more seriously and then discuss and then talk.
Yes. For years now.
Like that. So from my side, just to pray. Otherwise,
Thank
I
you.
cannot do anything. Okay.
You've done enough. Thank you very much.
Next question.
His Holiness, thank you for
Yes, yes, yes. Your nose quite big. So now touch here. Touch here. Touch. No. Your nose.
I know.
Touch your nose. Like the Maori,
Okay.
New
the
Zealander.
Maori. Okay.
Their way of greeting is touch nose. Next question.
His Holiness, thank you for seeing all of us here today. I ask you a question as a mother. I have three children.
Oh,
I have
you from
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong?
I have 3 children, but my first child died tragically a few years ago. And I have struggled. I have 2 more children. And as a parent, I don't know how to prepare them for human suffering. What is your advice?
Indeed, very sad. Very sad. But this problem, there are many people really is now facing this kind of sort of problem. I think individual problem. You know better how to reduce this problem. Then overall, as a humanity, I already mentioned our education system, I think should include some education about how to develop compassion with sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings. Not talking about God, not talking about next life or Buddha. Just simply do according to scientific finding. Some scientists now, they say constant anger, hatred actually eating our immune system. So these are something very because of convincing. After a few days, we're going to have, a meeting with scientists. So we are sort of going to discuss about these things. So therefore, there are in education field, some education about these deeper value, not relying on religious belief, but scientific finding. So that's, I think, overall, I think the materialistic education. Result, whole society, materialistic society, materialistic culture. People who come from that kind of materialistic sort of life, materialistic culture, materialistic society, then the emotion become out of control easily. So we will notice even some leaders, their emotion, I think too much emotion. so that we can't blame, these people. They come from the society where not talking about our inner value, no experience about our inner value. So now, I think you originally from India. So now all these, my talk, these ideas come from India. 8th century, Tibetan emperor invited one master of Nalanda institution. His name, Shandarakshita, 8th century. Since he came to Lhasa, introduced Buddha Dharma according to Nalanda tradition. Nalanda tradition extensively used knowledge and logic. He himself, great logician. He's writing, some writing about logic. Wonderful. And then philosophy. So these really immense help, you see, to make distinction. What kind of emotion without solid basis? Certain emotion, solid basis. Those solid basis emotion can further develop through reasoning. So that automatically, those emotion without solid basis then automatically reduce. The light come, darkness reduce. Like that. Among the emotion, that there is
So we're talking about what kind of states of mind or cognition have some kind of support from valid knowledge or not.
Like compassion, there is solid basis. Now scientists also now supporting that. Anger, no one sort of appreciate. But we develop that due to our sort of, according to Indian tradition, life after life, you see, without sort of proper sort of training in the previous lives, now anger spontaneously come. Now with this brain, you see, try to make a distinction. What kind of emotion is proper base? Certain emotion not proper base, based on ignorance. So ignorance can reduce through knowledge. That's the way, you see, some kind of struggle between destructive emotion, constructive emotion. Constructive emotion, since solid basis, so we can strengthen further. Anger, no matter how powerful, no solid basis. So, I think anyone, so in order to develop anger further stronger, can you meditate on it? No. Anger just come. The meditation, we can meditate. Days, weeks, months, years, decades, the power of compassion gain more strength because there is solid basis, reasons. Clear? So that's a Nalanda tradition. So now one of my commitment is try to revival of ancient Indian knowledge. Logic, emotion, all these should revive revival in modern India. So that India, you have the potential, make a combination. Modern education, modern facility provide us physical comfort. Very necessary. The ancient Indian knowledge provide us peace of mind. I think, I really feel only this country have the ability or opportunity to combine ancient knowledge about mind and modern facility, combine these two things. So you should feel more because of the enthusiasm, more optimism. Should not feel, oh, now my two children, difficult. Then you never sort of solve your problem. With full optimism and willpower and use wisdom, you can overcome any problem. Okay.